This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we're going to take a look at a Doom Foretold list featuring Karn the Great Creator. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. It's time to get back to magical nonsense. And in this deck we are doing the Orzhov color challenge with a lot of enchantment and artifact removal. Doom Foretold, a very awesome weird card, which I've played a few times before, and Karn the Great Creator, which is a card that you don't see nearly as often as most of the other cards in the deck. So Karn lets you fetch an artifact out of the sideboard. If you've seen him before on the channel, you can guess the kind of shenanigans we'll get up to, but if you haven't, we'll do a quick tour of things we can fetch from Karn. Black and white are really good Karn colors because Karn can fetch real removal in Glass Casket, which is kind of nice, as well as card advantage in Bolas the Citadel and Wishclaw Talisman. A reminder that Wishclaw Talisman can't be used by the opponent while Karn is on the battlefield, but of course you have to be careful, for if you give your opponent a Wishclaw Talisman and Karn leaves the battlefield, the opponent gets to tutor for whatever the opponent wants to. It's a very weird card, the Wishclaw Talisman, and I don't get to use it that often, so I'm not going to spend a million hours on the endless text of the Wishclaw Talisman. Some other things we have in the sideboard for Sorceress Spyglass. Just shut down whatever the opponent is up to. A Witch's Oven of our own. This is when we need a cheap permanent to sacrifice to a Doom Foretold. Say we have 5 mana, but we don't want to sacrifice Karn. We can go fetch an oven and put it on the field. But it's also there as life gain. And it's kind of nice to be able to use Witch's Oven to sacrifice Cavalier of Dawn for 2 food tokens and get back an enchantment from the graveyard or artifact. So there's a lot to using Witch's Oven without using Cat. Believe it or not, it's still a decent card. If they just didn't have the cat, I think you'd still see Witch's Oven played for various reasons. Grafdigger's Cage is here to stop the cat, as well as things like Experimental Frenzy and Arclight Phoenix. We talked about Bolas' Citadel and the card advantage. God Pharaoh's Statue is mostly a way to make somebody scoop if they're short on lands. It's pretty much how that card works. A Meteor Golem. Sometimes you just need to blow something up. A Parhelion. Sometimes you just need a giant threat. I've never fetched this. Maybe we'll change that today. Optimism. Stay tuned. Watch till the end. Stonecoil Serpent. Sometimes you need a body. Protection from multicolor can be cast for pretty much any amount. Stonecoil Serpent will do the job. So that's the wish board. We run a ton of lands because the castles get quite a bit of play in the deck, as well as the Scrylands and Fabled Passage. We need to have double white, double black, and triple white. So our mana requirements, despite only being a 2-color deck, are a little tricky. We have some globes, which can help as well. But yeah, lots of lands. All right, let's dive in. Let's let the Orzhov black-white nonsense begin. Here comes my first opponent. Apparently they have no name. Ah, there it is. Whoa. Starting our day out with some lag. Some slow-mo. Okay. This hand is just great if our opponent is being aggressive. If they're not, I guess we're playing Karn and hoping. I'm going to save the Fabled Passage. I really want to be able to cast Kaya's Wrath. Yeah, they're being aggressive. Aggression confirmed. So, how to play these situations when you have a Kaya's Wrath. You could play it to take as little damage as possible. I think I'll do that. I think given time, I can probably win the game a nice fair way. So we'll casket the very first thing that we see. Next turn, we might just be playing a tap land and saying go, though, to try to give my opponent space to dump some creatures. One card that encourages the opponent to play their spells is Runaway Steamkin, so if we see that, we may not even kill it. The opponent says go, so they have a Bone Crusher Giant. This is a good opportunity to play the casket tapped without paying life for it. And they're not casting their Bone Crusher Giant. I just bumped my desk, can you tell? Was the camera shaking? Now they're casting the Bone Crusher Giant. Heck a lag. What is going on today? Maybe my computer got lazy over the holidays while I was away. Let's go fetch a land and get Karn on the field. The opponent has a bunch of creatures to play next turn, or else they'll lose them if they don't play them, so it's a good opportunity to play the Great Creator.
I am not frightened by you.
And what do we get? Against red? And all their nonsense? Having a lot of glass caskets seems really nice, but I already have the Wraths. Maybe what I really need is a Citadel. I'll get the Citadel next turn if Karn lives, which I think Karn will. You know what? We'll just grab more removal. All the removal. If the opponent can't do creature damage to me, they're gonna have a hard time closing me. And maybe we'll get Witch's Oven next turn just to have some life gain options. So is the opponent going to shoot the Karn? Or is the opponent going to play one of the creatures that they'll lose if they don't play? And they choose the creature. Let's Karn up again.
My purpose is greater than myself.
Let's go get the Witch's Oven. It's a nice little life gain source once we get some creatures going. Now we could play Doom Foretold and kill one of these, or we can play Kaya's Wrath and kill both. And I'm a both kind of guy. Keeping the pressure to an absolute 0. Then what we'll want to do is when the opponent plays a Bone Crusher Giant, we want to establish Oath of Kaya before we play Doom Foretold. The opponent will fire off a Shock, and here's the Giant. So let's have a look at our top card, because why not? We don't need more land. Here is the Oath of Kaya, 3 more life. Let's establish the Witch's Oven. We'll be waiting for a creature to go with it, but even a Knight from a Doom Foretold can make food. And anytime you start turning all your creatures into 3 life, it's a good feels. Our opponent will run out the Torbrand. Let's eat the Torbrand with the Doom. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Beard. Say goodbye to the Beard. I wouldn't be surprised if the opponent had another one, but they don't want to run it out when there's a Doom Foretold on the field. So they're probably going to wait at least a turn. Sometimes the right way to play against Doom Foretold doesn't feel right. You just say go with nothing on the board. And then the opponent gets a whole turn, or all they have to do is sacrifice one of their stupid little permanents, like this. Ooh, Cavalier of Dawn. Hello. But nothing I really want to blow up yet. We do have 7 mana though. I can play this casket like so, with no target. And I can play this Cavalier of Dawn and turn it into a 3/3. Holy huge. A 4/6 is not easy for red to manage. And we'll say your turn. Doom Foretold will go off, they'll discard, we'll draw, we'll gain 2, they'll lose 2, we'll gain a Knight, they'll gain Sadness. Another Kaya's Wrath. And now, all of a sudden, we have 3 creatures on the board and our opponent has none. Bone Crush the Knight. Let's eat the Knight. Not only does it give us the food, the Bone Crusher Giant goes to the graveyard instead of the Adventure Zone. And that's a scoop 'em up. Man, the Red Mage didn't even get close. They had a turn 1 creature, but they only dealt us, I think, 2 damage the whole time, and it was a Bone Crusher Giant to the face. Linfax 27. The Avatar is Karn. You must face yourself. Snap that off. We got a 2, a 3, a 4. Prison Realm into Doom Foretold. Should be able to compete. Although, let me just clarify. If we play Flash, we die. It's not particularly close or interesting. Double Castle Locked Wayne. I think I think we can scry you away. I think that's a bit much. Yep. Like I said, dead. Not interesting. Let's fire out a quench target, shall we? The opponent will just counter Doom Foretold. They might still be ramp. Give them a chance, right? Give them a chance. Be a ramp deck. Beanstalk Giant. Maybe they are in ramp deck. It's a Christmas miracle. I think they're... Whoa. Okay, I don't know what they are. I tap out. I'm stupid. You're smart. I don't know what you're playing. Okay. Plays with the Doom Foretold. So let's keep it. I don't have a target right now, but we can work on that. Fires. Teferi. Oh boy.
You'll thank me later.
Bounce my Guild Globe. That's weird. I could sacrifice it and they don't draw a card, but I don't think that's worth it. Alright, so I don't have any permanents down for the Guild Globe right, or for the Doom Foretold right now. And I can't interact with the fires, so we need to get some permanents on the field. If we're going to do that, let's play one that removes something. We could either shoot down the Teferi with an Oath of Gaia, or we could Prison Realm it. And I like the Oath of Gaia. I like the life, and this is something I'm always looking to sacrifice. It's also within range right now, the Teferi is. So now our opponent, due to their excellent bouncing of the Guild Globe, we should point out, they get a turn with this fires to totally blow me out of the water. Let's see what they can do. They fetch a swamp, and they play Golos for free. Scary. They still have another spell to play this turn. Maybe they'll just play their Beanstalk Giant and play Kenrith? Jesus. This game wasn't close at all. We got absolutely run over. If we were on the play, it would have been totally different. Doom Foretold would have come down. But we drew a Kaya's Wrath. It gives us a chance. Gives us a chance. The opponent gets to draw a card with their Kenrith. Their creatures die. Let's see what they do next. I'm on pins and needles for the damage they're going to inflict. Jesus. What a monster. 13, if they activate, 14, 15, so that's game. Maybe we'll get to play Magic next time. Okay, Simtix assassiny avatar thing. We get to go first. Let's see if we can take this one. Going second, the great downfall in Magic. Don't do it. Once you're a true pro, you won't have these problems. I do need a land, but I think I can be greedy here. I don't think I need the fourth white source. I definitely want another black source. And we'll get a lot of looks at it before we need it. Our opponent will start with a Love-Struck Beastie token. We'll start with a Guild Globe. Give me a card. Okay. Get nervous. 2 more draws for the fourth land. We're gonna need it too. Our opponent opening on Lucky Clover. So, against the engine decks, which the last deck we played was definitely a fight. Like, Fires is an engine deck, Lucky Clover is an engine deck. These decks that are trying to use these huge value, go over the top of you engines, we need early Doom Fortolds that are relevant, otherwise their permanents just start to run away with the game. And you saw we just couldn't get Doom Foretold on the field fast enough against that Fires of Invention deck before they resolved a ton of permanents and killed us. So here we get to play a Doom Foretold early, and when you play your Doom, you have to have something to sacrifice to it. So, with a Guild Globe ready to go, we're feeling okay. The opponent has to choose between their Clover and their Love-Struck Beast. This is a bunch of damage, this is their value engine. And they choose damage, so they're going to be the beatdown. You really like to see that, because Kaya's Wrath can clean up the whole board. And we'll see what else they play this turn. The fourth land hits the battlefield, it's a forest, so we're looking at 4 basics on the field. The green and the blue, the Beanstalk Giant, that will fetch a land. It's an island. It makes me think the opponent may be looking at a petty theft or a try to use their brazen borrower. But you don't want to bounce the Doom Foretold until I have sacrificed my globe. And they play out a Fae of Wishes. So I think their plan is to sacrifice this Fae of Wishes and beat me down. We can definitely obliterate this plan. Is that the right play? It looks like the right play to me. I'd love to draw the extra card and get this Doom Foretold sacrificed since I just missed a land drop. So let's nuke their board. Activate the Doom Foretold. They'll discard a card, we'll draw a card. They'll drain, we'll gain. And we need to get a few permanents down for our next Doom Foretold, but we have a Cavalier of Dawn ready to rumble. And another Doom Foretold. The doom is certainly foretold here today. Send in the 2/2. What's a good... So the opponent's hanging on to some adventure cards. What are they? Sorcerer's Spyglass can name Fae of Wishes, but it's kind of hard to stop the adventure deck from doing its thing. There isn't too much that Karn the Great Creator can shut down. If we run out another Doom Foretold, we get to gain drain them again. Maybe that's just good enough. Although I'd rather kill a key permanent or two. Cavalier of Dawn could come out and blow up my knight and turn it into a 3/3. You know, that's strong. That is a powerful board. Let's do it. Let's be bold. Part of me really wants to establish the Oath of Kaya and go face, but I feel like holding it back, I could still catch the opponent by surprise, and it's not very mana efficient. It leaves 2 mana unused. So the opponent does have a Bone Crusher Giant here, which they play to keep the Golem from entering the battlefield. They still have a Cavalier of Dawn to face. They run out of Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower takes me down to 11, but it's looking like a very juicy Oath of Kaya target, and wow! Escape off the top is an amazing draw for them. Exactly what they needed in the spot. No question. So they have 2 Fabled Passages, they have a Beanstalk Giant, and an Edgewall Innkeeper. Let's see what all they play. They might decide to save the Edgewall Innkeeper for next turn, so that they can play it and draw a card in the same turn sequence. And they're going to ramp with Beanstalk Giant, continuing the army of basic land, and pass the turn. None of these are in the hand. These are all Adventure Zone or Exiled with Escape to the Wilds. So we know next turn our opponent's going to play an Innkeeper and probably an Adventure creature to draw a card. Let's start off by attacking. And maybe this is the turn where I have the mana inefficient turn where I dump Oath of Kaya and kill the Borrower. Just have an Oath of Kaya down so that Doom Foretold can follow the next turn, or on a future turn. The other thing we could do is get a Wormcoil Serpent with our Karn the Great Creator, which could block the Borrower. The opponent doesn't have easy removal for that, and it sets up a Kaya's Wrath. Both are interesting. I actually like the idea of establishing Karn and seeing if the opponent can deal with the Wormcoil Serpent. Stonecoil Serpent. I'll probably say Wormcoil Serpent forever. Correcting me is futile. Has reach. Not everybody knows that. So the opponent had an amazing Escape the Wilds draw last turn. Let's see what they top deck this turn. They're going to play the Bone Crusher Giant instead of the Beanstalk Giant to give themselves more options to draw into playables. Opponent doing some glancing at their Brazen Borrower and my Karn. And they say go. So probably not a Borrower or a Bone Crusher Giant. We would have seen that. Probably not a Beanstalk Giant. We would have seen that. Probably not a Lucky Clover. It might be a Fae of Wishes, but I wouldn't slow roll that if I were them. I would try to use my mana every turn, so maybe they're sitting on 2 land. Possible. So for this turn, I like Oath of Kaya and Glass Casket. Oath of Kaya can take out the Bone Crusher Giant or the Brazen Borrower. Glass Casket can take out the Edgewall Innkeeper.
I will rid you of your corruption.
And we start moving some permanents. We're going to put something in the graveyard. We want it to be the Innkeeper. We don't want the opponent to be able to bounce this and get something back. Let's take the Brazen Borrower. Take you out. Send over the 4/6. Vigilance. The opponent now down to 8. It's getting close. They'll have to defend their life total soon. And Doom Foretold looks better and better when we have these cards on the battlefield. Here come the taps. Here's another Escape into the Wilds. Double Innkeeper revealed along with another Beanstalk Giant and 2 lands. I don't think the opponent has the mana to play the Innkeepers and the Giant. They did slow roll a Lucky Clover last turn, it appears. Giant can fetch 2 lands because of the Clover. But it looks like they plan to keep the Innkeepers back. The opponent is at 8. They are in danger of getting run out of the building here. And they say go. If the opponent takes this damage, they die. So if I animate the Glass Casket and attack with it, and the opponent blocks the Glass Casket, and they take this, then I just Oath of Kaya their face. I think it's a good way to send bait, but there's a lot of options here. We could animate their Lucky Clover and kill it with Kaya's Wrath. I think I'm at least going to try for the lethal.
Awaken.
See how the opponent handles this attack. They're going to want to block Glass Casket. Their heart tells them to block Glass Casket. Their brain should tell them to block the Cavalier, and they do. So down to 5. So now I think we run out the Doom Foretold. Doom Foretold will snatch their Clover. They should put me on Oath of Kaya if they made since they made the block the way that they did. So they should know we have that. So how do they play around it? Here come the Innkeepers. Here comes a Beanstalk Giant with draw 2 attached to it. Makes it a much more appealing 7-drop, I will definitely say that. 14-14, you say? Good golly, that's huge. And here comes probably a Bone Crusher Giant. Opponent keeps highlighting the Karn, and Karn is the target. Karn down. The opponent didn't leave up enough red mana, though. Okay. How do we get 2 more damage in? We Wrath the board. Then Oath of Kaya next turn can deal 3 to face. So if we're going to Wrath the board anyway, let's give up the Glass Casket and give the opponent back their Brazen Borrower. This says whenever you cast an Adventurous spell. The other we have a lot of options for this, actually. We could give up our Stonecoil Serpent, but then we can gain a life from it with Kaya's Wrath. Yeah, let's give up the Casket. And Let's not attack. We can gain life off of these. So, what do we want back? More Doom Foretold seems nice, but we have another one. Heal Globe seems unnecessary. Casket is a cheap removal spell that can possibly fit in a curve next turn with an Oath of Kaya. So we say go. Our opponent takes the gain and the drain. We have a full frickin' grip. Kinda wish I could have this castle back. We've been stuck on 5 lands for most of the game. Our opponent's escaping into the wilds again, but do they have life gain? Can they do anything for life gain? They do reveal a Fae of Wishes. For 4 mana, that leaves them 6. If they have an untapped land, and I don't see one at all, they could get Plane-Wide Celebration to gain 16. But they need to gain life. They need to heal. Do they have a way? Did they hide something for a little life boost in that sideboard of theirs? And here comes Granted. They're gonna go to the sideboard. Try to find the answer. My version of this deck ran Hydroid Krasis. I've seen that cut. A lot of people running Edgewall Innkeeper instead. Wholesome Marasa. That can gain 6 life. That does work. That's a nice card to hide in the sideboard. What does it get back? It can get back an Edgewall Innkeeper. It can get back all kinds of things, and a negate. Alright. Is the opponent going to steal this from me? They can make a 1/1. They can't negate and pulse. They can do one or the other. And they're going to pulse now. So they're up to 9. This means I can resolve another Doom Foretold here, and that's got to be the play, because this negate is going to wreck it. So if we're going to do that, we only have 1 mana left for the turn, which means we're sacrificing the Oath next turn, and then we're playing a whole bunch of little cards for the rest of the game. Our opponent's got a huge mana advantage. Am I attacking? A pair of 1/1s could double chump block me. And then I have no board presence? Doesn't seem worth it. Cavalier of Dawn is very expensive, but cannot be negated. Get that Clover. The opponent can, of course, do some things in response. They could adventure the Brazen Borrower here. I think we're going to lose, to be honest. That Pulse of Marasa is a good one that I didn't have in my sideboard. I like it. I like it a lot. Reminds me of those Magic Duels days. If you want a real throwback, go way back in time on the channel. Way back in time. Watch some Magic Duels. See what CGB was like before the audience, before the fame and fortune. So in hindsight, I should have attacked with the Knight. The fact that the opponent can use Petty Theft from Brazen Borrower here and duplicate it with Lucky Clover makes it really good. They're gonna let my Doom Foretold blow up. Interesting. And they're going to flash in the Brazen Borrower and sacrifice it. Excellent. Brazen Borrower is very good with and against Doom Foretold. I was playing it a lot in my Dance of the Manse version of the deck on the stream. The version that I played on YouTube got destroyed, but the version on stream, I basically took out Thought Erasure, added Brazen Borrower. Was much better. Because you can always flash in your Brazen Borrower with the trigger on the stack to sacrifice it if you want to keep your Doom Foretold. Alright, our opponents played out their critters. And a Fae of Wishes. And we know they've got a good hand. I can't win from here. I could make a few plays, but the negate's eventually going to wreck me. Actually, I guess we can fight a little bit. The opponent knows about this glass casket. Let's see if they respond to it. The other thing we could do is blow up their Lucky Clover playing Cavalier of Dawn, which they don't have an easy answer to, but then they have Granted, and so they can go fetch anything in their sideboard. And they have 1,000,000 mana, so they have no problems in the world. Yeah, I can't win. Not really. We can try, though. Maybe the opponent will do some weird things. Let's keep sending caskets. Yep, they're holding the negate. I'm gonna scoop. Well, wait, they might do Fling Giant. If they play quickly, I won't scoop. I wouldn't mind seeing a good Fling Giant here on the channel. What I mind is how long their last turn took. They ran pretty much all their timeouts to make some... And they made some good plays, to be fair. So if they play quickly, let's see what they do. There's Fling. Come on, do it, do it, do it, do it. Hurry. Doesn't matter what else you pick. Return to nature, fine. There's the giant. It's 16 perfectly. What are you doing? Just like, why are you taking so long? Why do you have to do this? I'm just trying to hang out to enjoy the fling. You had Stevens with fling. I think we won in spirit because our opponent had a perfectly lethal Stevens fling, and they didn't take it. So I declare myself the flavor win. Yeah, we'll try. Turn 1, Castle tapped. Turn 2, Plains. Turn 3, Oath of Kaya. And then Doom Foretold, or Karn, or Wrath. It's all lovely. Godless Shrine off the top, the perfect land. And our opponent's opening on Paradise Druid. So, you know what that means, everybody. We're going to see a Questing Beast next turn. Now, I really do want to play my Doom Foretold on time, which means this turn I should Oath of Kaya face. Just to have something to sacrifice to the Doom Foretold. Because what we can do then is we can play Doom Foretold next turn, Kaya's Wrath the next turn, sweep up the creatures, and get the Doom Foretold triggered. It's very hard to deal with. And I think we're going to see it all play out right here. Do we say goodbye to Paradise? Opponent floats a mana. Well, you enter your draw step, you lose that mana, and they lose the mana. Okay. It was just a parting shot of defiance from the Druid. Druid returns. Down to 15. Sacrifice Oath of Kaya. So we want the Doom Foretold to go off next turn, so we're not sacrificing something to it ourselves. That means Kaya's Wrath. Blow up your creatures, and then we'll get the trigger from Doom Foretold. Opponent with a spiteful bone crushing of my face. And discard a Domri's Ambush. We draw, we get a Knight. It's looking good. More Questing Beast is always the answer. Alright, 6 mana. Glass Casket isn't very good here. So it's Cavalier of Dawn. Cavalier of Dawn can blow up the Questing Beast. So, yeah, I guess that's the play. We got another Plains here. Let's go get another Swarm. A 3/3 Golem still carries an Embercleave, but it doesn't carry it as well as a Questing Beast. So getting the Beast off the battlefield makes a ton of sense. Here comes a Pelt Collector and a Bone Crusher Giant. We can use Karn to go fetch a Casket. They won't want to block the Cavalier because we get back a Doom Foretold. I suppose whatever I do this, I'm probably using Karn to get a glass casket. So let's attack first and see if the opponent wants to do anything goofy. I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you're gonna like what happens to you. Take out the golem. The golem won't sacrifice to the Doom Foretold, after all. So give me that. Opponent gets a trigger here. So now we will take a draw with the golden egg. Another Cavalier. Lovely. And the Doom Foretold returns. The opponent gives up the Bone Crusher Giant. They have a 4/4 Trample Collector, so they're gonna go for it. Now let's see if they can Ember Cleave me down to one. One little life. I have a Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker is going to attack. Alright, so do I take this damage? All of it. Next turn, the opponent's going to lose something. And I'm going to have a Cavalier with a whole bunch of stats. Yeah, I'm just going to chump block and try to stay alive. Just absorb some damage and try to keep my life total reasonable. I think if I do that, I can win. Swamp off the top, huh? So I think that the best move now is to keep my opponent from having creatures on the battlefield. If they have creatures on the battlefield, they can Ember Cleave them. So we'll play a Karn. We'll use Karn to go get a glass casket. And I think that's the play. I'm just going to take a look. Take the Pelt Collector, because it comes back as a 1/1 without haste. And now Spellbreaker gets sacrificed to Doom Foretold. And Thrashing Brontodon. Ooh, didn't expect that. You don't want to take out the Doom Foretold right now. If you take out the casket, I'll go get another one. Wow. And Doom Foretold will eat that Pelt Collector anyway. So I can give up my Doom Foretold or I can give up my Karn. I'm gonna have a ton of mana too to play Wormcoil Serpent. I think I'll give up the Doom Collector then. Ooh, I could play Parhelion. I'll definitely die if I get Parhelion, right? I'm doing it. We didn't come here to not get Parhelion one time. Let's do it. You gotta do it with stakes, guys. Gotta do it with stakes. And I have a Cavalier of Dawn. Just don't kill me. Just don't kill me. Don't do it. Bone Crusher Giant. They feel they have to take out the Karn, so I can't animate Parhelion. They play the Giant. They attack me. Alright. It all comes down to this, boys and girls. Oath of Kaya, your Pelt Collector. Because it would grow to a 3/3 anyway, and eventually has Trample. Cavalier of Dawn. Turn my Oath of Kaya into a 3/3. Crew the Parhelion with the Cavalier of Dawn. Let's do this. It's angel time, baby. Yes. Yes. That's a lot of stats. Are we? Oh, we're coming at me. You must have an Ember Cleave. So I could put the 5/5 in front of the opponent. Put Parhelion at risk. Just put everything we have in front of this creature. Every possible point of toughness I can make. Everybody, block that giant. Do not let it kill me. Return of the Wild Speaker. Draw cards. That's not Ember Cleave. But that is game. Fibonacci. Did you make a sequence? Is that a thing? Let's keep that. Draw a card. Get rid of a thing. Blow up all of the things. Play a bigger thing. This hand is great. Oath of Kaya. Gain some life while we're at it. Let's see. I actually don't think we need that. I think our hand is already so good. Let's go for a Doom Foretold instead. Our opponent making good on those red vibes. Let's go for an egg. If I have to pay life with this hand, I think it'll be okay. Curving out. Gotta be the priority here. Double Cavalier of Dawn. Holy cow. Our opponent's sitting on a shock. At least that's what's implied by the way that the turn was passing. And here is the Rim Rock Knight. So, mono red never ceases to amaze me. Here we're looking for more land, I guess. Boom. Did it. It doesn't even hurt me to play it. That's nice. Feeling sassy here, feeling confident. Feeling like I'm going to rock a red mage's face. Let's go ahead and shuffle up. Go get some black mana, play this Karn. Karn can minus for the casket, or Karn can plus, and the opponent now has to duel with my golden egg. So let's see what they do. If they decide to shock the golden egg and attack my Karn, then they didn't attack me. And that is fine. Yep, you hit my egg. And they're ignoring Karn. You will regret this. You will regret this greatly. I will show you. Well, I guess if you have a stage to light, you do what you gotta do. Oh my gosh. I'm so gonna Grafdigger's Cage that experimental frenzy. The problem is if I fetch it ahead of time. Should I play dumb? If I fetch a Spyglass and play it, and name Frenzy, do you think the opponent will think anything of it? Oh my god. This could be hilarious. But no, I think that the right play is to go get a casket, let the opponent play their Frenzy, if that's what the play they wish to make, and then use Grafdigger's Cage to lock them, and make them sacrifice their Frenzy. So let's see what they do. Oh. They say no to the Frenzy. They say yes to the War Boss. Karn gets tagged. Down to 3. Top deck Oath of Kaya. Lovely. So, the opponent has a shock. We saw that on turn 1. So if I minus this Karn, shock will get rid of it for good. I think we're much better off playing an Oath of Kaya, which can help defend our Karn, and it can tag the War Boss. Then we can plus our Karn with no targets. We could also turn this into a 2-2, see it get shocked, but that's not a very good play. There might be a time and place for it, to be honest, but not right now, when they could kill the Karn. They're like, oh, you were supposed to give me a shock target by fetching something. Yeah, I didn't do that. I'm crafty like that. And now we get this Oath Drain. Cha-ching. Wow. Freaking tryhard over here. Just straight up 5 mana Ember Cleave it. Okay, well, Doom Foretold now eats your Ember Cleave, so... Banzai. Can't sacrifice the token, you have to sacrifice the Ember Cleave. It's a non-token permanent. If it were a token permanent, Doom Foretold would be pretty bad. Wow. Our opponent leaning into their difficulties with another Legion War Boss. And here comes some pain. So, let's see what they send to the battlefield. Light the stage again. How many is that? 3rd light up the stage. 4th light up the stage, and 2 Steamkins. It's gonna get amusing. It's gonna get amusing next turn for sure. So we could blow up a glass casket and Wrath the board, but we know they're gonna play some of these next turn, so we want our Doom Foretold around for that. So so we'll blow up the Oath of Kaya. So do we wrath the board facing a war boss? I don't think so. Our opponent definitely wants to play Steamkin next turn. And they might throw their tokens away to get... They might throw their tokens away trying to get Spectacle to cast their last light up the stage. I could give them a Rimrock Knight to sacrifice, but I don't like that. Alright, fine. We'll blow up the Doom Foretold or the War Boss. If we blow up the War Boss, the Doom Foretold goes off. The opponent plays all their stuff, then we Wrath. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. If we're going to Wrath anyway, we might as well give them one of these. Yeah, might as well. It's gonna be fine. We still have 18 life. They'll only have 2 Steamkins and a light up the stage. What's the worst that could happen? Everybody's coming. Block up. Let's do this. You know they still have a shock. Maybe they'll want to use it on the Golem? What do you think? Here it comes. They've run 4 light up the stages and now they have a Frenzy too. So we'll give up the casket because we're going to blow this up anyway. Another Doom Foretold. Charming. May as well attack first. Down to 11. And Kaya's Wrath. The next Doom Foretold can catch the Frenzy, or we can catch it with Cavalier. All that stuff dies. Let's get back what? I think Oath of Kaya makes the most sense. 3 life. Remove a thing, sacrifice it to Doom Foretold. So much value. Doom Foretold goes off. Opponent discards, gain drain. You've seen it all before, and that shock is finally gone. Just when it had a target. Will it be Shock Frenzy or Frenzy? This is in exile. They can play it after they play Frenzy if they choose to. Instead, it's Bone Crusher Giant Frenzy. Okay? I guess I have 7 mana here, so we can go Oath Your Face. Our opponent has a lower life total than we do. Feels good, man. Doom Foretold. Get rid of that Frenzy, please. I don't like it. I want it gone. Opponent's like, but I wanted to play cards from the top of my deck until you died. Let's see him. See you later. Yeah, we'll keep it, and Egg will draw us more land. Easy. Easy game. So, go get the planes. See what the opponent does. These sleeves. Is it? Is it? But nah, it's Knights. Just good old Knights. Let's shut down the party on Knight of the Ebon Legion immediately. See if we draw a land off the top here, but just slow the beatings to a crawl. Here's my egg. And a temple. Nice. Land, please. Yes. Okay. Things certainly got on track that turn. Our opponent, of course, has Paragon. Everybody does. It's now in all the decks at all the times, and a Fervent Champion. Okay, that's a lot of pain. And a Gutter Bones. You think they'll scoop the second we cast our Kaya's Wrath? Let's get our 3rd white source in case we have a Cavalier Dawn to play. Goodbye. Thank you for watching this video featuring the Doom Foretold Black-White Orzhov deck. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. We just went over 40,000 subscribers and continuing to push forward, and I know almost half of you who watch aren't subscribed. So please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. So thank you to all of my subscribers, and also a special thank you to my sponsors, Esports Gold and CoolStuffInc.com. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you later.